Hi guys! Today we're going to be learning together how to crochet this lovely pattern. To start, we need a chain of a multiple of 12 stitches plus 1. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to start with 37 stitches. So these are my 37 stitches, so it's 36 plus 1. And to start row number 1, I'm going to chain 4 more stitches. This is how we begin the first row. This will be the first treble stitch or triple stitch for the first row. Now I'm gonna do 3 more triple stitches into the 5th chain from the hook. So the 4 chains are considered the first stitch, and then I'm gonna do 3 more into that 5th stitch to have a total of 4 stitches at the beginning of my row. Next, I'm gonna skip 5 stitches. I'll chain 1, and into the next stitch, I'll do a single crochet. Next, chain 1, skip 5 stitches, and into the next stitch, we're gonna do 3 trebles into the same stitch. Next, chain 3. So we're gonna make 3 chains, and then we're going back into the same stitch where we did the 3 trebles, and we're gonna do 3 more. So we'll have 6 trebles in total into that stitch. Next, chain 1, skip 5 stitches, and when you're counting the stitches, make sure that you don't miss that stitch squeezed beside the stitch where you did the trebles, because it's hiding there, so you need to squeeze your trebles. And then into the 6th stitch, make a single crochet and then chain 1, skip 5 stitches, and repeat the treble set. So 3 trebles, 3 chains, and back into the same stitch and do 3 trebles again. And this will be the repeat for this row until you reach the end of the row. So we do a set of 3 trebles, 3 chains, and 3 trebles all into the same stitch. Then we chain 1, we skip 5 stitches, and then we do a single crochet, and we chain 1, we skip 5 stitches, and then we repeat the treble set. When we reach the end of our row, we'll have 6 stitches remaining. So we're gonna skip 5, and into the last stitch, we're gonna go in and make 4 trebles. This way, we're gonna have the 2 ends matching together. We started with chain 4 or 4 chains, which is considered the first treble stitch, and then we did 3 more trebles, and then at the end we're gonna do 4 treble crochets to match it, to have 2 symmetrical edges. And this is the end of the first row. Now to start the second row, chain 1, turn the work to the other side, and then into the first stitch we're gonna do a single crochet. Next, we will chain 5 stitches. Then around the posts of the trebles from the previous row, we're gonna work front post trebles. But we're not gonna finish the whole stitch because we're gonna do trebles, 6 trebles together. So we're gonna stop at the last step, we're not gonna finish it, and start working at the front post treble around the next post right away. So now we have 3 loops on the hook. Work another treble on the next post. Now we have 4 loops on the hook. Skip the chain 1, single crochet and chain 1, so skip 3 stitches, and locate the next post and work around it a front post treble stitch. Again, don't stop at the last step, don't finish it. Now we have 5 loops. We're gonna work 2 more trebles around the next 2 posts. And now we'll have 7 loops on the hook at this point. Now we're gonna yarn over and pull the loop through the 7 loops. Now we did 6 treble crochet together. Now I'm gonna chain 5, so 5 chains, and into that chain 3 of the previous round I'm gonna locate the middle chain and go into that stitch and do a single crochet. Now I'm gonna chain 5, and I'm gonna be repeating the 6 treble crochet together. So around this the next 6 posts from the previous round, I'll work front posts of trebles, but I'm gonna stop at the last step. I'm not gonna finish it until I have 7 loops on my hook. That's when I'm gonna yarn over and pull through all 7 loops. I'm gonna skip the 3 stitches in the middle and work front post into the next, or around the next post. Now I have my 7 loops. I'll yarn over and pull through all 7 at once. Next, chain 5. Again, locate the middle chain of the previous row and go into that stitch and do a single crochet, and then crochet 5 chains and repeat. So now I have my 7 loops. I'll yarn over and pull through all 7 loops at once. I'm at the end of my row, so I'll chain 5. And then into the 4th or the top of the 4 chains that I did in my previous row, I'll go in and do a single crochet. So now I have again the 2 ends matching. We started with a single crochet and we're ending with a single crochet. And this is the end of row 2. To start row 3, I'm gonna chain 1 and turn my work to the other side. I'll do a single crochet in the first stitch. Then I'm gonna chain 1 and I will locate that loop that is sitting, or the circle that is sitting on top of the 6 trebles that we did in the previous row. And I'm gonna go into that loop and do 3 trebles. Now we're working regular treble stitches. And then we'll do 3 chains and go back into that same spot and do 3 more trebles. Chain 1 and then skip the 5 chains of the previous round and go into the single crochet stitch and do another single crochet stitch on top of it. Then chain 1 and then again into that loop right above the 6 front post trebles together that we did in the previous row. We're gonna go in there and repeat the set of 3 trebles, 3 chains and 3 trebles. Chain 1, skip the 5 chains, go into the on top of the single crochet stitch and do another single crochet, chain 1 and then skip the 5 stitches and go into that loop and repeat the set of trebles, chains and trebles. Now we're at the end of the row. I'm gonna chain one, and on top of the single crochet of the previous round, I'm gonna go in and do another single crochet. And now we're ready to start row number 4. So I'm gonna chain 4, and turn my work to the other side. Now in the previous row I have a set of 3 trebles. Around each of these trebles I'm gonna work a front post treble, but I'm not gonna finish the whole stitch. I'm gonna stop at the last right before the last step, and I will continue doing front post trebles for 2 more till I have 4 loops on my hook. Now I'm gonna yarn over and pull through all 4. Next, I'll chain 5 stitches, skip 1 stitch and go into the middle of the chain 3 of the previous row and do a single crochet. Next, I'm gonna chain 5 stitches, and then I will work 6 front post trebles around the next 4 posts of the previous round. And again, I'm not gonna finish them. I'll just stop right before the last step until I have 7 loops on my hook. Again, skip the next 3 stitches, which are the chain, single crochet chain, and locate the next post and start working a front post around it. Now I have my 7 loops. I'll yarn over and go through all of them at once. Next, chain 5. In the middle of the 3 chains of the previous round, go in and do a single crochet, and then chain 5, and we're gonna repeat what we did again, so 6 front post trebles together. Now we have 7 loops on the hook. We're gonna yarn over and pull through the 7 at once. Chain 5, and at the end you will have 3 posts only left. So similar to what we did at the beginning, we're gonna work the 3 posts together with a treble, a regular treble at the end. We're gonna see how. So work 3 front posts, and then on top of the single crochet of the previous round, we're gonna go and work a regular treble to have a total of 5 loops on the hook. Now we're ready to yarn over and pull through all of them. So this is like how we're gonna match the 2 ends together. We have half a set at the beginning and we're having half a set at the end. Now this pattern is a repeat of those 4 rows, row 1 to row 4. So you can keep working these rows to like until the work reaches the length that you need. Here I've worked several rows. I think they were like 3 repeats of those 4 rows. And then I thought that maybe I need to show you how to do the row, like row 1 on camera when you already have rows below it that have been established. It's a little bit different than working in the foundation chain, but it's definitely easier. So to start, I'm gonna chain 4, turn my work to the other side, and now at the base of these chain 4, like it's gonna be the 5th stitch from the hook, I'll go into that stitch and work my treble stitch. And then I'll go back into that same stitch and do 2 more. Next, I'm gonna chain 1, and then even without counting, just locating the single crochet in the previous row, I'll go into that stitch and do a single crochet, and then chain 1, and on top of the 6 trebles together from the previous row, I'll go in and do the set of 3 trebles, 3 chains, and 3 trebles. So it's the same as working the first row, except the only change is that you're not working into a foundation chain, you're working into a row that has already been established. And even without counting, if you have your stitches made correctly from the previous row, you can just locate the single crochet and do a single crochet in it. And then on top of the 6 front post trebles, you work the set of 3 trebles, 3 chains, 3 trebles. Again, at the end of the row, after doing the single crochet stitch, we're gonna chain 1 and work 4 trebles into the last stitch to match the beginning of the row. So chain 1 and then start working 4 trebles into the last stitch. And this is how we do this lovely stitch or pattern for today. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do. And until next time, take care.